my city, a certified hardcore sports town. We champions in all the big four sports now. It's not smart to bet against us, we are forced now. We got heart like going for it on fourth down. Ain't nothing soft about us at Philly Pretzel. Used to doubt us, now you gotta respect the Philly special. Talking trash, you gon' need a pass, cause my city ride. We fanatics, you don't wanna see our gritty side. Support the colleges, what up the big five? The women too, like Xfinity, we get live. Whether diving for a touchdown, driving to the hole, swinging, hit a home run, fire for a goal. We kick it with the union, in the air with the stars. See sports with the fusion, I don't care where you are. You can never be too hype for the team you like. Philly unite, tonight's the night, so let's fight for the Flyers. Phillies, Sixers, Eagles, represent the city and let's do it for the people. We never throw the towel, I come from a proud city. Ring the bell, scream and yell, now say it loud with me. Flyers, Phillies, Sixers, Eagles, represent the city and let's do this for the people. So all Philly fans, let the rest of the world know. Philadelphia fans, the best in the world. Go!
Yo, 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 yo. It's your boy Jamar, Top Shelf Sports Talk. Back with another live about you. This time we got a little mix. Philadelphia 76ers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Like I said, this is a talk show about Philly sports. Again, I'm going to start doing my due diligence now that the Eagles season is over, to start going over the Flyers and you know, getting to know them a little bit better. But right now, we're going to be talking about the Philadelphia 76ers and the Philadelphia Eagles, who are not playing next week, who most of us are pretty upset and sad about that. You know what I mean? I wish I was preparing for a Super Bowl get-together party type thing, but, you know, right now I'm not. You know, I'm hoping to see that, you know, and there's no shade to the real 49er fans, but I'm hoping to see a 49er beatdown next week, man. I don't know how you feel, but I'm feeling like I want to see a 49er beatdown. I just want to humble them guys, man, and make them know, or let them know that you are human. You know, it's a game. You know what I mean? And just because you got a stacked squad doesn't mean you're the best. You got to be able to play that, you know, stacked squad. It's like the Lakers when they had Karl Malone and Gary Payton and all them, Shaq, Kobe, Rick Fox. They had an all-star lineup but couldn't beat the Pistons in the finals. So, you know, Debo and all them guys, I good luck to you next week, but I want to see you guys get y'all tails kicked because y'all talk too much trash, man. And it's a sport. You're supposed to talk trash. You're supposed to be confident in your team. You're supposed to be, you know, hype about being, you know, considered the best team in the NFL. But when you sit there and you just constantly talk like you God's gift to the creation of football, it's like, come on, man. Who do you think you kidding? Like, who do you think y'all can get beat just like anybody else get beat. So, you know, I'm not going to spend too much time on hating on I'm not even going to say hating on the 49ers, but the 49ers, you know, I just want to see them go out there and take an L next week and on a bigger stage. You know what I mean? Detroit Lions, you know, I was talking to my man Buff, Dan Gamble, it didn't work out. He couple of those field goals he should have kicked, took the points, tied the game up. One would actually put him in the lead, and he gambled on 4th and 1 and 4th and 3, and they wound up losing the game because of that. But like he said, that's what got him there. That, you know, they got him to that point, to the NFC Championship game. So you can't really be mad at him. You can't, you know, be upset with him. He definitely, you know, it's like Doug Peterson when he was, you know, he was one of the, I guess you could say he was one of the riskiest play callers, you know, that the Eagles had, and he used to go for it. He used to gamble on plays, and just by the luck of I guess of the coin, it actually worked for the Eagles. You know what I mean? Sometimes you win by it, sometimes you lose by it. And I don't think Dan Campbell is going to go into any year coaching changing his philosophy of how he's going to coach. But I think at certain points you got to be more understanding of the position that your team is in, the stakes that's on the line, and make better calls in those positions. You know what I mean? Because everything ain't about just trying to put a team away. You got to strategically do it. You got to strategically do it. What's up, BG? You said they convert, they would be praised. So you got to live with the decisions. Yeah, you do. But for a team like Detroit, now you can correct me if I'm wrong. Like a team like Detroit, they are stacked. They got a nice little team. They are building. Do for a team who hasn't been there ever in their history of their franchise, do you take some of those gambles and because you really could have beat the 49ers. Some of those gambles was it really worth it? Hey Smitty, you're a hater, man. Cut it out, man. I ain't even get on the Eagles yet. But you talking your nonsense. So your Cowboys stink too. Y'all just lost your coordinator to the Commanders, and y'all stink. But I'm just saying, I'm gonna get to the Sixers. I just want to get to my opener rant. I'm getting to the Sixers, man, because I got a really good question that I was posed in the barbershop yesterday. No, I'm not taking my head off, Smitty. I'm not taking my head off. I'm still an Eagles fan. I'm not taking my head off. But ABG, do you think that in that position, being as though that team, that organization hasn't been to that far in the playoffs in their existence, do you try to play a little bit more conservative in certain points to try to secure the victory? Because you had the 49ers beat. You had the 49ers beat. One of those gambles, do you say, no, I'm not going to take that gamble. I'm going to kick the field goal, get the points, and try to beat this team? Because your defense was playing pretty good. Your defense was getting home. Your defense was doing what they were supposed to do. You put your defense in a bad position because you didn't execute those 4th and 1 and 4th and 3. BG is still drunk from the Sixers game and hungover from the Eagles season. Hey, Smitty, man, listen. Let me tell you something. You ain't gonna keep talking about my Eagles because y'all lost before us. Y'all lost the day before us. Because that was what Dan Campbell does. Don't change the way you coach, but I do think he should have. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like I said, I think in the beginning, coming into next year, I think Dan Campbell was still. I'm still calling Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell was still going to the season being aggressive and gambling on 4th and 1, 4th and 3, and things like that. I mean, every coach is now. I mean, actually, to be honest, with Doug Peterson was one of the coaches that started that. You know what I mean? He started going for it and being aggressive on 4th down. So I believe he's actually going to still coach the same way. But I think going forward, and some of those plays on the NFC Championship, he had to look at it and say, you know what, I need these points. Because it's the 49er team. It's the 49ers. If I can get any type of points out of these drives, it helps me in my pursuit to win. Because like I said, you had their back against the wall. But when they fumbled, when Jahmyr Gibbs fumbled, I was like, you know what, the fix is in. You know what I mean? And that was like truly when I knew the game was getting ready to get out of reach, or the 49ers were going to come back. It worked for Doug and Sirianni. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they the ones that kind of pioneered that fourth down aggressiveness. You know what I mean? They kind of pioneered that, and now you see the league is starting to do that. But in certain points, because we killed Doug Peterson that first year before the Super Bowl for going for it so much and not kicking the field goal. The second year when we actually won the Super Bowl, it was times that we thought he should have went for it, but he took the points. So it's like, I guess this year, I guess going forward, Dan Campbell had his taste of what it was like to play in the NFC Championship and get that far in the playoffs for the first time in the franchise's history. I believe now he looks at it and say, you know what, I'll coach a little bit differently going forward. I will be aggressive at certain points, and I won't be aggressive in the points at points where it's going to cost my team. But anyway, I just wanted to get that out there real quick about the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers game. Let's move on to the Sixers, right? I was in the barbershop last year. You said they will be back. They needed to learn this. They won't be back because we will be back, BG. We're going to be in that spot. They could play against us. All right, yeah, they will be back. They'll play against us. Thank God. Hey, Smitty, cut it out, man. Listen, I was in a barbershop yesterday, and I was talking to my barber, and he was telling me that he believed that the Jonathan Kuminga play or scramble for the loose ball was a dirty play on Embiid. Time to move on the real Philly team. Yeah, whatever, man. I want to know, y'all. I didn't see that as a dirty play. I didn't see that as like a Draymond Green type being dirty type play. I thought it was an actual play that he was trying to get the ball, and he kind of he tried to shield his body from the defender and fell on Embiid's knee. Now, my barber said that the guy should have been called for a foul. Excuse me, he should have been called for a foul and all that. Like, I don't see that. I don't see that. It was dirty. Smitty said it was dirty. So, Smitty, tell me how it was dirty. Let me ask you. So, this is the question I posed to him. I want you to tell me how it was dirty. This is the question I posed to him. Not dirty, but a little over aggressive. I mean, this is what happened in football, right? With the Tom Brady rule. Guess what happens? You start taking those plays out of the game. Guess what? Everybody is scared to make a tackle. Everybody's now is going to be scared to go for a ball if a superstar is on the ground. Answer me this question, Smitty, real quick. I want to know if that was LeBron James on the ground and B was going for the ball and fell on LeBron's leg and caused him to get an injury, would you want A, him to be called for a foul, or B, to be looked at as a dirty play? Reverse the roles and tell me if you feel the same way. I don't think so. Because at the end of the day, I think that's the basketball play. Even my cousin was saying that he thought it was a foul. He thought he did too much. He knew he was down there and he fell on his leg. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Be courteous of you of the superstar when I'm going for a loose ball? Is that what we're supposed to be doing? If Paul Reed did that to Steph Curry, no, I don't really agree with that because you take the physicality out of the game. If Paul Reed was going after a loose ball, literally just going after a loose ball and fell trying to get that loose ball on Steph Curry and caused the injury, unless he jumped up in the air and then dropped on him, then I don't consider that a dirty play. I don't even consider that a foul. Because what you're describing is if you take that out of the game, right? If you have these referees start calling that call, guess what happens? Everybody's going to be conscious of like, oh, that's Embiid on the floor, or that's LeBron on the floor, or Curry on the floor. I'm not going to dive to go get that ball. Like that makes the game soft. That's what's happening in football. That's what happened in the football. You got a biased opinion. It's a basketball play, just a little too aggressive. I agree that everybody who said that was a dirty play or thought that it was a foul or whatever the case may be, I said to them, maybe you're a little bit biased because you are a Sixer fan. I don't look at it even being over aggressive though. To be honest, BG, I look at it being as though he went for a ball. I mean, I don't think you can't. There's no angle of that particular play that he actually looked and said, "Oh, that's Embiid on the floor," and then dropped a little harder on him. There's no evidence that actually happened. You know what I mean? So in my opinion, like he looked at it and said, "You know what? I'm going after a loose ball, and I'm trying to get my team a possession." And it was the fourth quarter. You wouldn't say it was dirty if he dives for the ball against Mo Bamba. No, it wouldn't be. It would be a basketball play. It's going to water down the game if you take that. If you start wanting to call those calls, it's going to water down the game. I am being biased. We haven't won a chip since before my sister was born, and she turns 40 next week. I agree with you, man. And I don't want to see him be or anybody on our team not playing at full potential or full health. But those plays right there, I mean, I can't get on board with saying that they are dirty plays or should be called for fouls. 41 in 3 days for me, bro. Oh, BG, we gonna make sure we wish you a happy birthday and have a sip with you, man. Because we celebrate the birthdays around here, milestones. You know what I mean? But At the end of the day, I believe that wasn't a dirty play, and I believe that at the end of the day, if anybody makes that play, it shouldn't be a foul. It shouldn't be considered dirty. I mean, even I don't care if it was Draymond Green. I don't care if it was Draymond Green making that diving for the ball. It still to me wasn't a dirty play. Now I'll say this, what happened to cause that was a product of the leagues in the new CBA with the game. You have to play a certain amount of games to be considered an MVP of the league, which to me is nonsense because Embiid forced himself to go out there to play to be in consideration to still chase the MVP. Like if he didn't have the, I guess the mindset of trying to chase the MVP or trying to be available for a certain amount of games to be considered for MVP, that play doesn't happen. You understand what I'm saying? That right there doesn't happen because he was not going to be playing. So he has to be a little bit more considerate. He has to understand the position that he's putting himself in. The rule is fine. No, it's not fine. But that's why he got hurt, though, Smitty. He got hurt because he was trying to. Well, he was already hurt. I should say he was already hurt. He most likely probably would have set out that game, but he wanted to be eligible for the MVP or eligible for the amount of games needed to be played to play for the MVP. I posed a question on East Sixers: is Maxey a better number one option than he is at being a number two option? Not better than a B, but better suited for as a number one. I don't know. I think the only way I can answer that question honestly is if after this season. Because let me just say this to you, and I'm not blaming Maxey yesterday for any loss. I mean, they were winded yesterday. Every shot they took was short. But I think that if you're going to be considered a number one, you have to show a little bit more consistency and I'm not saying it in the wrong way, so please don't kill me. I'm saying it like Maxey had a quiet 23 yesterday, and he was short a lot on the shots. They were shooting too many threes. They weren't rebounding. They was just, you could tell they just came back from a West Coast trip and they were drained. But those games like that is where you'll see like LeBron and Kobe and KD and all those guys that are number one options for their team. They don't take that game off. Not saying that Maxey did, but they still put the team on their back and make sure they come out with a victory. So I have to see Maxey. I have to see what Maxey is doing at the end of this season. Yeah, Smitty said the same thing. I got to see him at the end of this season. What do you say, Jesse Ramon Nichols? Come learn basketball. Oh, you adding people. So that's a good question though, BG. But I just believe that I need to see a complete year from Maxey to be able to say that he could be the number one option. As long as and me and you, I'm not saying you're saying this, but as long as Embiid is on his team, he's definitely gonna be the number two. But I think in times when Embiid is injured or not like he is or not playing, Maxey has to be like, he can't be dominant to a point where he's not getting his team involved. That's why I always said, I said it to you before, I said it to on here before, Maxey has to figure out a way to get his assist up. I need him to average at least 10 assists because I need him to move the ball around. Too many times I see him shooting a half-court three-pointer, you know what I mean, and the ball just crossed half-court. You know what I mean? And we're not a good rebounding team, so you gotta get your team involved. Who you feel we need to trade for, or just chalk it up to? See, I was watching East Sleep Sixers yesterday, and for anybody who ain't Carl, Smitty, and BG on here, y'all need to subscribe to Eat Sleep Sixers on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, all platforms, because we talk Sixers talk half hour before each game, half hour after the game. But I was watching on East Sleep Sixers yesterday. They were talking about how BG reported how Tobias Harris was in the starting lineup, then he refreshed the screen and he's out of the starting lineup, And that had me nervous because I'm like, and just as well as they had them nervous, I'm like what's going on? What's happening? In my opinion, in the trade, and I know BG he probably in there sucking his teeth and rolling his eyes, not on none of that. But I'm just saying, like, if we're gonna make a move, I would like a solidify like a shooter. I keep saying that. I keep saying that because even with days like yesterday, if we had someone who could consistently shoot the ball, I'm not saying that was going to win the game, but I think that would have had us not lose by 30. Like, so, like, I need somebody like when Embiid is not in and it's Maxey out there, I need somebody to consistently take the pressure off of him. So, like, if we're not going to get somebody who can really handle that position, I'd rather keep Tobias because I believe Tobias has been stepping up to the plate. I believe Tobias has been doing this thing over the last couple of weeks, and I don't want to lose that. He needs to work on his mid-range game. He's getting too tricky. Yeah, like he's literally coming to step in from half court and letting it fly. Vucevic, yeah, I would take Vuce. I would take him because, like you even said it yesterday. He would he can spot. I mean, he can pair up with Joel Embiid on the floor. Also, he can shoot the three. He can rebound. I would take him. But what I'm saying is, if you're gonna trade Tobias for him, let me ask you this: would you trade Tobias for him? DeRozan or Murray? Out of them two, DeRozan is older, Murray's younger. I don't know. I want to go Murray, but I know Murray is ball dominant too. DeRozan is probably better suited because he played under Nick Nurse. He knows the system, and I believe he's at a point in his career where he wants to win, and so I think he'll do the intangibles that we need for us to win. So I'm gonna lean towards DeRozan on that one. I'm gonna go DeRozan. Who going rebound when the shooter's off? BG, you're absolutely right. I agree with that. The rebound is horrible. We have no rebounders, so if we're trading for a shooter, that means we still don't have any rebounders. We don't solve that position. It's kind of hard, man. It's tough though because we do need rebounding. We do, but I just think we need that other scorer outside of Maxey when Embiid is out. Yes, because it makes us bigger at 4 and addresses back up 5 as well. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Also, my man, also City Mac, what's up, bro? You said marketing from Utah. He's yeah. I mean, I can see him too because he's a big. He can rebound. I don't know. I mean, that's a good name. Smitty said Murray. That's my young boy. I love his game. He a defender. What does Toby do better than Vooch? I think Toby, the way we look at Toby right now, in my eyes, if Toby, like I put it like this, before Toby got here, Toby was a scorer. He could he could shoot the three. He could rebound. He could drive. His game was a little bit more athletic than Vucevic. Vucevic is more of a back to the basket type player. He could rebound, but he's not one to take you off the dribble and drive on you. And that's the difference that he has over or that's the difference Tobias has over Vucevic. You see him last night against Golden State. Who marketing or no? Who played Golden State last night? I didn't see that game. Tell me who played that Smitty. I don't think Utah's selling anymore because they look okay lately. But the question is with Utah is if they're going to be able to pay these guys going forward, or if they want to pay these guys going forward, because they really have nobody on their team that they got John Collins and I think one other person that got max contracts. But are they going to want to pay those guys and or not just blow it completely up and rebuild? So I don't know. Utah, they still might do so, depending on who they can get back. Depending on who they get back, I would say. Murray's cooking back to back. Oh, Murray, Atlanta played Golden State. Murray's a nice player. I'm not taking nothing away from Murray. I'm just saying to you in general, like when it comes to DeMar DeRozan and Murray, um, I think the experience and the mindset is different, and that's what you need now if you want to contend for a championship. So like if you got DeJounte Murray out there, yeah, he's gonna be a dog. He's gonna be out there balling, doing his thing. But is his mindset ready to take back seats at certain times for your team to win? Or is he in this, or is his mindset at the point of I'm getting my stats? I want my stats. I want to do what I gotta do. Murray 28, he's still young. You know what I'm saying? He's still young. How old is DeRozan? DeRozan like 33 or something like that, 32, 33. But he's more seasoned, like he's been in the league to where as though he's trying to win. You said I'm scared to pay DeRozan. He's 34. Yeah, I mean, but you know you're paying Maxey. You know Embiid is getting paid. You know I can under a Nick Nurse. I think that paying DeRozan under that in that system, I think that'll work. I believe it'll work. And I'm not saying that DeJounte Murray won't work. I'm not saying it at all. I'm just saying that his mindset is younger and he's looking. I don't know if he's looking to say, well, at certain points of this game, I'm going to defer to whoever else. It don't even have to be Maxey or Embiid. I'm gonna give it to Oubre. Oubre, he might be cooking. This might be his game. Or Pat Bev, this is your game. Or whoever else. Like, and I believe that DeRozan is at that point because he's literally trying to win a championship. You know what I mean? And that's the only difference. T. Smith needs a week in the rotation when we healthy. We looking for a shooter and might already have him. Don't let this be Isaiah Joe all over again. Travion Smith, you believe he's ready for the rotation? I mean, he was out there yesterday. I didn't really see much from him, but do you believe are you saying like, okay, you want him to get more minutes off the bench, and who are you taking minutes from? Go back and get Jimmy buckets. It was some posts out there talking about the Sixers had the second best chance to land Jimmy buckets in the trade if Miami was deciding to part ways. And my question is, why would they part ways with Jimmy buckets? I don't understand why they would do that. I mean, I know their team ain't been as good as it's been over the years, but like, I mean, I just don't understand why would you part ways with Jimmy buckets unless you're just completely blowing it up and just starting over from scratch. But Miami's always been a sleeper team. Miami's always been a sleeper team to where as though you look at them in the regular season, you be like, oh man, them dudes ain't doing, and they mess around, make the play in. Mess around and beat the eighth seed and get in position to be in the eighth seed and go all the way to the championship. So I don't know if they would do that. Nick Nurse's job is find the best 9 players in the playoffs. Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, and that's the thing, like, but it's Elton Brand and Daryl Morey to find those 9 players for him to create that rotation. And the question is that do you really believe or do you really think that either Travion Smith is ready to be in that nine-man rotation, or just be a part of the rotation period in the playoff? I mean, in the regular season going into the playoffs, or do you? I mean, because who are you taking the minutes from? You got to take the minutes from somebody. Who are you taking from? Because you're still trying to get darn, I just had a brain fart. Jaden Springer to develop. So if you're taking the minutes from him for Travion Smith, is he better than Jaden Springer? Obviously Cork is only in there just to, I guess they're trying to showcase talent. I was trolling saying bringing Jimmy Butler back. In a way, I think I'm serious now. I don't think they're parting ways with Jimmy. I don't think they would part ways with Jimmy. We playing Cork and we know he trashed, so let's see what this kid got. I think and I just saying that I think they are playing Cork and we know he's trash. I think they're playing Cork a lot because I think they're trying to showcase him a little bit to add him into a trade. There's no other reason why you play Cork. I mean, he airballed a floater yesterday. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I almost felt like Jen. I was looking at the screen like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, how are you airballing a floater, cuz? Like, you wide open too. You wide open. What do you say? Cork is a walking bucket, Brian Green. He trolling you trolling with that one. Like you trolling with that one. Um Cove, Bantam, Batum, and Bamba are wasting roster spots. No, I say Batum. I don't know what's going on with him. He's been hurt a lot. Bamba, I don't think they gave him. I don't think he's really getting the opportunity because of Paul Reed. I'm not sure why he even got signed to the team because I believe only because what you called Joel Embiid he was cool with Joel Embiid. They from the same country. BG said Cove ain't coming back. They reevaluating him in 6 weeks, and I'm still like I might have to look that up. Like I still don't know what Robert Covington's injury is. I don't know what he did. So for him to be reevaluated in 6 weeks, what in the heck did he do? You know what I mean? Like 6 to 8 weeks, BG just said. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. Batum is Horford 2.0. Nah, he ain't Horford. He ain't that bad. He ain't stealing money like that. Horford raped us. And his sister teased us. You know what I mean? Like Horford raped us, man. He ain't do nothing. Like he was terrible. And I was like, when I first saw that signing, I was saying to myself, like, damn, that might be good. It might be, a big lineup. You know what I mean? To where as though teams ain't gonna be able to do too much on us. But Horford, like he just had his wheels were flat the whole time he was here. Like his tires were flat the whole time. What's up, Carl? Welcome to the show. Hey, Carl, send me your address so I can send that cup to you. Got you and Jen. Got 2 left for y'all too. So send me your address. Batum wife don't want him here. Oh, that's what you heard, Smitty? I don't know. I mean, he's been hurt a lot. He's been out of the lineup, and then when he's in the lineup, I like Batum with the dribble handoff what he do with Embiid, because he doesn't bring the ball down below his waist to shoot. He shoots from the shoulders up, and he gets it off quick. I like that. You know what I mean? I like that he can shoot. That was the worst lineup. It did wind up being the worst lineup, BG. It did. But when it first happened, I was saying that too. I was like, that ain't gonna work. Well, why are you bringing Al Horford in? Then I was like trying to be optimistic because you being a fan of your team, you're like, that could do it. They can get something done. But it wound up, Horford was a shell of himself, and it was like, that's crazy. And then he goes, well, he went to OKC, and then they cut him, and then went back to Boston and looked good again. I don't know what what happened. He's a Boston guy. Never trusted a Celtic except Twin. Yeah. It's a nice cup. I love it. Appreciate that, Smitty. I thank you for supporting me, man. Smitty talking to you, BG. I meant to put that. I put a bandage on the Eagles. Hey, Smitty, there's no redesigning the cup. The cup is what the cup is. You gotta represent that cup to the fullest, man. You gotta take that everywhere you go. Remember this disclaimer. That cup is. You can put hot beverages in it, but it's more for cold beverages. So just so y'all know, you can put hot beverages in it, but it's more for cold. But anyway, let's get back to the Sixers. Like I said, BG, you want Travion Smith to come out off the bench a little bit more, get a little more time, get Cork minutes. I agree with you, but I think they're trying to showcase Cork to see if they can move him in a trade too. I'm gonna send you a CeeDee Lamb jersey. Yeah, you know what? Do that. What happens is, with I was when we was on East Sleep Sixers the other day. Jose was talking about how he burnt his Ben Simmons jersey for and used it to make s'mores. I ain't had a good s'more in a while. That CeeDee Lamb jersey might make that marshmallow taste that much better. Send that. Yeah, send that, Smitty. I need to burn a Dallas Cowboys jersey. You know what I mean? Go get the white boy from Memphis that used to play in the Clippers. You talk who? Oh, what's the shooter boy? You talking about? I forget his last name. I know you're talking about. If you're talking about him, I know who you're talking about. Luke Kennard. Is you talking about him? Kennard. I don't know. I mean, y'all tell me. Like BG says, we need a big man. Me and Smitty says we need a shooter. We obviously I think if we could find a way to keep Luke Kennard. If we could find a way to keep Tobias Harris and just maybe trade a pick for somebody like somebody that's a solid shooter, like I'll be cool with that. I mean, obviously you're not gonna get a name because most teams want names back. You know what I mean? Yeah, you talking about Luke Kennard. They trying to get rid of him? I mean, I know they just traded Steven Adams off that team. They might be looking to blow it up too because with John Moran and his issues, and he's out for the year. They might be trying to blow it up. A shooter without Embiid there does nothing for this team. We could debate that one, BG, because I know what you're saying because you still don't solve the problem of rebounding. I agree with that. But I still think that in games like yesterday, we don't get blown out by 30. Now, I mean, I'm not going to say that we sit there and win, but I mean, against the Brooklyn Nets, who is, they are a team, but they're not supposed. We shouldn't lose to them by 30, even without Embiid. We shouldn't lose to them by 30. We're not giving up none of our first. I don't see it unless Maury's saying they're going to push Embiid injury. You know what Kendrick Perkins said? I don't know if y'all agree. Did y'all see what Kendrick Perkins said? Kendrick Perkins said shut Embiid down for the year. This is shut Embiid down for the year. Get him ready for the playoffs. I mean, not playoffs. Get him ready for next year because you have all that salary cap money, and you should be in position to sign one of them free agents and compete next year. Do y'all agree with that? 25-headed donut, though, at least. Yeah, but that's a moral victory for us because we hate the guy. We hate the guy. Like I mean, he had like 4 in the first minute he got in the game, like 4 or first couple minutes he got in the game, 4 assists and 4 rebounds. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think you should lose to the Brooklyn Nets by 30. Depending on an injury, I might agree, but I'm not there yet. I mean, half the panel wasn't there yet. They all were saying like, I don't think that we should do that because you still got a fighting chance. Matter of fact, Woj disrespected our team. He said if we do shut them down and play with the team that we have, we're going to be a lottery team. And that's what I'm saying. Like, and that goes back to the question that you asked BG about Maxey. Can Maxey be a number 1 player on this team? Or what I mean? And if you are going to be considered that, your team, even though you lost it now, don't get it wrong, he's a big, he is the piece to the team, I should say. You still shouldn't be considered a lottery team if you lose Embiid and you got Maxey. Maxey should be able to repel those guys, especially if you got Tobias. It should be Maxey and Tobias keeping this team afloat. Not saying that they're going to win every game that they would have won with Embiid, but Maxey, if he's going to be considered that number 1 player, he's got to be able to drive this team to and win those games and be able to beat teams like the Brooklyn Nets. Now, like I said, I agree. They were tired. They came off that West Coast swing. The time zones and all that. I understand it. We've been shutting Embiid down for years since we drafted him. We shut him down in 2 years. I mean, he's played through injuries. I mean, I just think that, me personally right now, I'm not shutting Embiid down unless the knee is just to a point where it's like, all right, it ain't going to get better if you keep playing on it. Because you're going to have those plays like Kuminga did. And it's not intentional, but he's going to have those plays. So I don't know if I'm shutting him down yet unless it's to a point where his knee is just not going to respond and you have to. And it's in the best interest. Is it disrespectful? Have y'all seen our record without him? Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, our record is not. It's what 3 and something. 3 or 4 games without. They only won 3 or 4 games this year without him being 3-13 or something like that. It's horrible. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, if you got that type of, if you want Maxey to have that type of label, instead of Maxey jacking it from half court, Maxey has to start taking steps in and distributing the ball a little bit more and getting his team involved and winning that way. He has to let the game, because right now, to me, the game is still moving fast for Maxey, even though it's, you know, he's progressing within that, but it's still moving a little fast for him. Once the game slows down, it'll be a lot better. You know what I mean? Like, it'll be a lot better for him. And at that point, I believe he'll be mature enough to take that team and win a game against, like, the Nets yesterday. Vuk and Luke bust a move ASAP. Yeah, who you giving up though, Smitty? Who you giving up? We don't win. Woj telling the truth. It hurts, but it ain't disrespectful. But that's what I'm saying though, BG. I'm not saying that Woj is lying or anything. Well, I'm gonna say he is to me. I believe he's lying. I don't think we're just a lottery team if we got everybody except Embiid. If we got this team right now with everybody except Embiid, I don't believe that we're a lottery team. I don't think we're third, fourth, or fifth in the East, but we're not a lottery team. I mean, besides Boston, besides Milwaukee, besides the Knicks, Pacers, who else is in the East that can make noise as much as us with Maxey? Who else can? I don't know. Y'all tell me who else besides those. Let's look at. We can look it up. Let's see. NBA Eastern Conference. So yeah, that's what I'm saying right now. You got besides Celtics, Bucks, the Cavs, Cavaliers too. My bad, Cavaliers too. Pacers. Like the Heat, we could beat. Magic, we could beat without Embiid. Bulls, we could beat without Embiid. Hawks, we could beat without Embiid. The Nets, we should have beat without Embiid. Raptors, Hornets, Wizards, and all the rest of them is trash. So we, even without Embiid, this team right now should finish 7th, maybe 7th, and that's behind the Pacers. 7th without Embiid. That's not a lottery team. I don't think that's a lottery team, and I think that's it's slightly disrespectful to say that this team minus Embiid can't finish 7th in the East. 7th at the worst. Now you tell me if I'm wrong, BG. Tell me if I'm wrong, because I think 7. I'm gonna even say 7 or 8 is doable. Even the play-in. To strictly say we're going to a lottery team, I don't agree with that. That's a little disrespectful in my eyes, in my book. That's a little disrespectful. Because like I said, you're saying you want Maxey to be that number 1 player. Consider that number 1 player, but you're telling me he's going to be a lottery team even with him and Tobias out there. Might as well be a lottery team if we end up playing. No, I mean, it's like, you say that, right? But it's like what the Miami Heat done last year. They were in the play-in, but they didn't give up, and they made it all the way to the championship. You need lightning to strike in the bottle once. So I mean, I'm not giving up on that. Plain and all. You need lightning to strike in the bottle once. You need the sun to shine on the dog's butt, once. Losing playing, and you're a lottery team. Yeah, I mean, but what I'm saying to you is that, yeah, if you lose, you could become a lottery team. But what I'm saying to you is that right now, minus Embiid, you telling me that this team can at least finish 7th in the East. You tell me they can't finish 7th in the East. Minus Embiid. Brian Green, right? At least we can trade the pick for a valuable player. What pick is he? What pick is he trade? I don't. I mean, listen. Let me tell you something. Who? Let's be honest, right? It's not too many. I'm trying to get the right with this. It's not too many players in the draft right now. And I don't watch college football. I mean, college basketball as much as anybody, as much as y'all guys might. But give me those names out there who can come in now and propel this team to be a championship contending team. What player in college can do that? With championship pedigree players, we got Paul Reed as a starter. We ain't Miami last year. No, I understand, but that's what I'm saying. Like, here's the thing. I'm not saying you putting all your eggs in the basket of Paul Reed. I'm saying to you, Maxey, Tobias, and Paul. All we need Paul Reed to do is rebound. All we need Paul Reed to do is block shots. That's all we need. We don't need no scoring from him. We need him to rebound and block shots and let Maxey and Tobias will his team to a win, because you need to. We all were hype over when they made the trade for Harden and all the role plays that got around and beating Maxey and Tobias, which made Tobias that third option, that solidified third option. We need to now step that up a little bit more and make it so that it's Maxey, Tobias, and then everybody else around them to be able to win these games. Like I don't agree that we can't finish at least seventh in the East without Embiid. The unprotected Clippers first round pick is 28. It's super valuable. Yeah, but who? All right, tell me who you picking at 28. I start watching this. I start watching it this time. Yeah, I can't really get into it too much. I don't know. College sports is hard for me to watch. It just seems like it's just always crazy blowouts. I don't know. And I know that's more in football than it is in basketball, but it's just hard for me to watch for some reason. He don't rebound or block shots. But here's the thing. Paul Reed was getting ready to sign a 3-year, $40-something million with Utah, I believe. And we matched that offer and brought him back, which means we have some type of confidence in his ability to play the game. So the Sixers organization need to develop him more. They need to work with him a little bit more. They need to build his confidence. And it's not going to be overnight. But what I'm saying to you is that I'm not looking at him. I'm just saying if we can get him. You said he had 4 rebounds the other day. I mean, it's times I put like this, and it's no shot to Joel, right? Joel is 7'3", and he's the heart of our 7'2", and he's heart of our team, right? But Joel averages 11 rebounds a game. Do you think that Joel should be averaging more rebounds than he's averaging? Just tell me if you believe that. Do you believe that Joel should average more rebounds? No, I'm saying trade the pick. Trade the pick for somebody who can rebound like a Vucevic, or you said like a Vucevic, or what you call it, or Drummond, right? He's 6'8". He's not a center, but I understand. So they're playing him at center. You know what I mean? Truthfully, his jumper is not there yet for me to kind of put him at power forward. He can't do nothing but, to me, play center. He doesn't have the offensive ability to be able to play more than just center. You said bumper car, Paul Reed. Oh man, don't start coming for B-ball, Paul. We signed him back. Were y'all okay with this? Were y'all okay with him coming back? The Sixers matching that offer of the Utah Jazz to bring him back. Were y'all okay with that? Because if y'all were okay with that, then you can't talk about him. Because I mean, at first I thought he was gone. Because we had brought Trez back, we brought Mo Bamba in, so I was like, they let him go. But they brought Reed back. Why would you bring Reed back if you didn't believe in his ability to play the game? Difference is Embiid gives other things. Reed don't do nothing. He's young though, BG. He's still young, and he was raw. Like, I mean, he's not even when Embiid came in the game, Embiid played around a little bit. He wasn't like he is now. It took him years to get to this point. I'm not saying Paul Reed can be what Embiid is, but I'm saying you bring him back. You got to keep developing him. You can't give up on him. You can't give up on Reed right now. You bring him back for that. Reed is the guy send out there to commit fouls. Nah, man. Like, you gotta put some respect on B-ball name now, man. Like, you just don't put him in the game to foul. You know, you if you look at it, like, you look at what he's done on the Nick Nurse system. Like, last year, we never saw him take a 3-point shot unless it was in garbage time, and it was like, who cared? Now you're seeing him taking 3-pointers. Now you see him taking 3-point shots. So you got to develop that. You got to keep working with that. You can't give up on that. I ain't giving up on that. I think B-Ball Paul can do or be what we need him to be coming off the bench and spell Joel Embiid. I mean, you've seen his ability the other night. He had 30 and 13. He could do it. We just got to keep building them. We got to keep building them up. Because I thought Trez was going to be up. Yeah, when they brought Trez back, and they brought, because I think they did both of them moves, Trez and Mo Bamba, before they matched his offer sheet. And I was like, I thought he was gone. I'm like, all right, B-Ball is gone. Like, all right, we got Trez and Mo Bamba, so we should be okay. But they brought him back. They matched it. On a nice roster, that's his role. On a nice roster, like, that's not his role, though. You know, he's more than just a person that can commit, that's going to go out there and commit fouls. He's more than that. You got to give him more than that. Y'all know that man can play a little bit better than that, just to be committing fouls. They don't put him out there to do that, though. That's the crazy part about it. They don't put him out there to commit fouls. They actually put him out there to contribute. They don't look at him like that. I think that's just like Smitty. I don't know why you saying it, but I know why BG's saying it. That's his way of saying that he wants a better big man. He's advocating for a big man, but I don't know why you saying it, Smitty. Paul Reed wouldn't be in the top 5 teams in the league rotation, and is now our starter. I don't agree with that. We ain't got enough time today, but we can go through each. Like, man, you can go and do a live BG, and we can go through the teams out the league. Let's just go in the East, right? I'm a pick. Let's see the Cavaliers roster. See, that I don't like this stuff. They got. I'm on. Let me look it up, because I believe a lot of these teams, he can come off the bench and be a productive player. A lot of these contending teams, he can come off the bench and be a productive player. Let's line that show up. Me, you, and BG. Let's do it. Because like I said, we can go through each team's roster in the East. We can do East and West and compare backup centers to Paul Reed. Do just the top 5 teams. Milwaukee, Boston, and wouldn't play Paul Reed. Boston lost their center. Like, Kristaps Porzingis is not reliable. Al Horford's been hurt. Paul Reed would definitely come off the bench for Boston. No questions asked. He would definitely come off the bench for Boston. Because I like Paul, but I like him for what he is and what he should be. But the thing is, we haven't, like, the other day, I knew all y'all was on a podcast, Sixers podcast. Sorry, when the man had that 30 and 13. Y'all believed in his ability then. Y'all thought he could play ball then. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm not saying that y'all saying that he can't play ball. Y'all just would like somebody a little bit more established and a little bit more tougher than what he is. I understand your argument, BG. I know what you're saying, but I don't think you give up on B-Ball Paul after giving them that contract, after taking them away from the Utah Jazz. You know, and both them better than Reed, no matter what you say. So you saying all right? So You telling me Al Horford, because he's not reliable, and Kristaps Porzingis is the starting center, right? He is a starting center or power forward, right? You mean to tell me that you taking listen, all right, so let me try to phrase this the right way. You believe that Paul Reed could not get 5 minutes on that team? He answered. He trying to be BG funny. He answering me before I even got the question out. He already knew what I was going to say. I agree though, BG. I think Paul Reed I think he gets solid minutes on those teams. Now, playoff rotation might be different, but regular season, I think he gets in on those teams. And I guess if we talk about playoffs, then yeah, you got a point. But me personally, I'm just talking about right now, like because I think the Sixers team can finish seventh in the league, 6th or 7th in the league, even without Joel Embiid. I do believe that with Paul Reed as our starting center. Because I think one thing you're going to do when you give Paul Reed that opportunity to be the starting center from this point to whenever Joel comes back, you do nothing but build his confidence and his ability to play the game. You do nothing but give him experience when he's out there on that floor. Enough experience to where as though he gets better game in and game out. I believe Paul Reed can do what we think he should be doing. He has to keep getting that consistent time. Like he has gotten it off the bench, but it's a difference, and we all know it's a difference when you're playing with the first unit. When you're playing them starter minutes, it's a difference between getting them bench minutes and getting the starter minutes. So that confidence right there can go well for Paul Reed and his confidence in getting him better to be a better player. And I'm saying 7 mix is basically a lottery team because only bad day in the playing sends you home. Yeah, I mean, one bad day. I'm sorry, in the playing sends you home. Yeah, but I'm saying Woj was saying it in a way that he believes that the Sixers won't even make the playoffs. Woj was saying that like they have no shot to make any playoff. They won't make the playoff rotation without Embiid. Yeah, I mean, first round exit makes you done anyway. Like so, I just don't believe that this team, the way they built, even if Embiid is not in there, can't make it on the seventh place. I just don't believe this. So that's what I'm talking about, BG. I'm not talking about I'm just saying the way they built right now, they can be the 7th seed in the playoff. They definitely can be that. And if Maxey takes another step forward because Joel is out and gets his team involved a little bit more, shoot the mid range, stop shooting them half-court 3-point shots, and get his assist up. I think we can get better, even better than that. Paul Reed can't name 5 solid starts he had. He had one the other day. All right. So at the end of the day, we got homework to do. We're gonna look through Paul Reed's starts as a Sixer and see if we can put 5 games together where he has solid games. I'm in my feelings. Don't mean to be so negative. No, I feel you though, BG. This is your team. I agree. I understand. So BG, I just said I know I only named one. There's a couple more. We just got to go through it. We're gonna put a show together and we're gonna go through it. You know, BG over here roasting me, man. Like listen. I know. I'm not saying that we're a championship contender with Paul Reed and Joel Embiid is out, but I think we're better than just a lottery team. Yeah, Carl might be at work, so he ain't on here to defend his man Paul Reed. I'm gonna send him this video and let him see how BG was going at Paul Reed, so they can go back and forth on the show. But listen, man, this is my hour mark. BG, Smitty, Carl, Oso City Mac, all y'all, appreciate y'all for showing up, being a part of the show. We were supposed to get into my Philadelphia Eagles and the coaching moves and things that they made, but we got hung up on our Sixers. So, that's how some shows go. But I appreciate y'all for being a part of it, man. I look forward to y'all tomorrow because I think Sixers play tomorrow, so I look forward to being a part of the chat tomorrow on Eat Sleep Sixers. Again, if you're not Smitty, BG, Carl, join Eat Sleep Sixers. Half hour before the show, half hour before the show, half hour before the game, half hour after the game. They're on live. Be a part of the movement of the Sixers basketball team, and let's get in the comments and roast BG for his comments about Paul Reed. B-ball Paul. Yo, appreciate y'all. Love y'all, man. Talk to y'all soon. Go Sixers.